Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Well, we are expecting many more party goers, and we will be happy to welcome them as they arrive. We appreciate all of you carving out some time to celebrate the big event here at PNW BOCES. It is the 21st birthday of Olas, and we are so excited to be able to connect with all of you and mark this occasion. I want to let you know that we are broadcasting live from Putnam Northern Westchester BOCES. We are in our Redwood conference room, and I'm going to highlight or spotlight for you. Hold on one second. There you go. And I want to just point out that, of course, we are joined by Maria Biagini, our Olas Queen and Coordinator. She is here representing Olas, and she is joined in our Redwood conference room right here live by Jim Flanagan, our Olas Assistant Extraordinaire. And these two individuals are our team Olas, and the only one who's missing here in this shot is Jamie Molina. As you know, Jamie is our Director of Information Technology, and he set up everything behind the scenes. And Samantha Jones here is here in his stead from IT. So we miss Jamie, but he is here in spirit, and Samantha is here behind the scenes making sure everything runs smoothly. But Maria, Jim, Jamie, they are our current team Olas, and they create the magic that all of you benefit from. And I want to make sure that I spotlight them so you can see them. I'm going to go off spotlight for just a moment now because I've got a few more introductions, but you'll see Maria and Jim throughout today's program. So hold on one second. Okay, very good. So I wanted to let you know that this is a very special occasion for Putnam Northern Westchester BOCES. And again, I appreciate you all spending time with us today. Unfortunately, Dr. James Ryan, who is our BOCES District Superintendent, is also not able to join us, but he prepared a special message that he wanted me to read upon the launch of today's party. Dr. Ryan says, "I am sorry that I'm unable to join you in person today, but I am delighted to extend my congratulations to Olas, celebrating 21 years of exceptional service. Recruiting quality staff is essential to school districts, and our service helps nearly 600, and he's right on the money. We have 600 districts now, as of yesterday, who participate. Olas also serves as such a valuable resource to individuals hoping to find employment, and it has helped thousands of individuals over the years in this regard as well. I want to thank our Olas staff, again, Maria, Jim, Jamie, for all that you do to deliver this valuable service, as well as our many satisfied customers who we support. Congratulations, Olas, and happy birthday. Here's to many more." So that's from our, again, District Superintendent, Dr. James Ryan. We definitely appreciate his sentiments, and he would certainly be here if he could. So I see that we're joined now by nearly 30 people on this call, and we want to make sure that we recognize you, and please feel free to use the chat box if you want to just introduce yourself and how you are connected to Olas. If you want to send a birthday wish to Olas, we're going to be recording this. We're going to be saving the chat box, so feel free to use that to convey your messages. But right now, I want to introduce somebody who is very important to not only Putnam Northern Westchester and our whole Lower Hudson Valley region, but is really the lifeblood of Olas and the originator of it. And this person is no stranger to you. Her name is Renee Gargano, and she's a former deputy superintendent here at Putnam Northern Westchester BOCES, and she is the proud parent and founder of Olas. And I'm going to spotlight her because I want her to introduce herself, and then she's going to have some opening remarks for us after we do a couple other intros. Renee Gargano, thank you so much for joining us. And again, we would not be here without you and your innovative thinking and ability to give birth to Olas. So I'll let you say a few words, and I know you've got a few other special guests that have joined us that I'll point out to you, and you can introduce them as well.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everybody. And thank you, Lynn, and thank you for inviting me to join you on this very special day. It is truly hard to believe that we pushed the button and went live with Olas 21 years ago. I guess we're finally legal now, and therefore I wonder why we're not all enjoying a cocktail as we celebrate. The truth is, in the good old days, that is exactly what we would be doing. And so much has changed really as we think about it. It's almost mind-boggling. But while anticipating today's celebration, my mind became flooded with many fond memories. And I thought that it would be fitting to share a bit of the Olas story as beyond our very special Maria Biagini and Shinta, our programmer who are here with us today. There is no one left in our BOCES from the original team. So Maria and Shinta, you are the last men standing, and with Maria in charge, this is exactly how it should be. And it makes me very, very happy and very proud. Olas actually grew out of
Renee, I'm
original...
sorry to interrupt you. I just want to let you know, though, that you have two, I think, special guests that may have had a hand in supporting you. There is a Richard Green and a Lorraine Petruzzi. Would you like to introduce them?
Of
Who are these special guests?
Of course. So Dr. Richard Green was our district superintendent for Putnam Northern Westchester BOCES from 1990 through 1995. There he is. Oh my gosh. How fabulous. It looks like he's getting signed on here. So Dr. Green was with us when we actually began our regional recruitment service. So it was pre-Olas, but while Olas was in the thinking stages, and I'm so delighted to see him, and he was so terrific and such an important part of our BOCES. And Lorraine Petruzzi was part, hello Lorraine, my goodness, what a lovely surprise. Lorraine Petruzzi was the original sub-finder coordinator when we had that service, but she worked as part of our regional personnel services office, which is what it was called at the time. And when we ran our recruitment fairs, which I'll be talking about, Lorraine would be my fine assistant at those fairs. And there she is. And she retired several years ago.
And joined by another Olas fan.
There you go. Fantastic. All right, thank you.
Well, thank you,
That's
Lorraine.
wonderful.
Yes, and Renee, while you have been introducing some of these very special guests, and before you go on with your opening remarks, I want to let you know that you received an email from Regent Fran Wills, and she is thanking you very much for the invitation. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it to the celebration, but she wants to congratulate Olas on the 21st birthday, and she says it's such an incredibly successful initiative that continues to make a difference in the hiring process, now more urgent than ever before. That was from Regent Fran Wills.
Yes, and Fran Wills was the superintendent of the Briarcliff School District at the time that we launched Olas, and so she was one of our early users. So that's terrific. How wonderful. And with having Fran on the Board of Regents is just really amazing and terrific. That's beautiful. Thank you, Lynn, for sharing that. I appreciate it. Okay, should I continue with our story?
Yes, please do, Renee. And as you can see, we're going to put up our PowerPoint here, but please start. You we're so kind to provide our opening remarks. And let me just make sure that we're a little slow today. Okay, there you go, Renee. We've got the slide with you, and we're ready to hear your opening remarks. And then from there, we've got a couple other slides for our party goers. And we have some Olas fans that will be saying a few words at the end as well, some of our Olas users. But I turn it back over to you, Renee.
Terrific. So Olas actually grew out of our original regional recruitment service, which we began in the late 80s, and expanded that over the following decades. And as I began to reconstruct the story, to be honest, it sounds like another world, almost like a bit of the Stone Ages. This was all before we had computers in our offices. Everything was done on paper. There were no electronic files to speak of in the HR offices. We were encumbered by walls and walls of file cabinets that were filled to the brim. As we navigated our goals to support our region in their teacher recruitment efforts, we went through several iterations of our regional recruitment service way before creating Olas. We were truly at the very beginning of the technology revolution as computers were first being introduced. And it was not until the mid-90s that we actually began to see at least one computer in each classroom. So when you think about that, it's almost hard to imagine. I was quite young and just learning about HR, which was then referred to as personnel. Our school districts were struggling with finding teachers, and they were spending an enormous amount of money on advertising, placing very large, costly display ads in the weekly Sunday New York Times section. I met regularly with my fellow HR colleagues and realized that by pooling their resources through the regional advertising service, we could save our district a significant amount of money. The advertising service became very successful, which led to the concept of pooling resumes by certification area for the region to share. I realize that it's even hard to imagine, but we would collect hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of resumes and maintain individual files by certification area, whether it be math, social studies, biology, physics, or chemistry, you name it, we had the file. And yes, it was a paper file. So for years, we shared these files by delivering them to our school districts by courier or by snail mail. Districts would review the files and copy them, meaning Xeroxing, those resumes of candidates that were of interest. They then returned the file to BOCES, at least we hoped and prayed that they would, as it was a bit of an honor system, so that the files could then be shared and available to other districts. You can only imagine how crazy this was and how many resumes were lost in the process. By this time, in the late 90s, our regional recruitment service was quite robust, and we were hosting large-scale annual teacher recruitment fairs. By the time we stopped hosting our fairs, we had people lined up from the early morning hours, stretching all the way down into Yorktown Heights. Droves of teachers flocked to our campus, waiting online for hours just to get through the door. I knew that we needed a better way. It was then in the 90s and later 90s that I learned about a company called Resumex, and they had introduced technology for scanning resumes into electronic files. Large corporations began using this technology. However, at the time, scanning services were extremely costly and labor intensive. But I became very intrigued about this possibility, as clearly our paper file system was not working very well. It was cumbersome, slow, and haphazard at best. So to this end, I decided to attend the National Association of School Personnel Administrators convention so that I could learn a bit more about how we might automate our own HR office, which was completely run by paper, and our growing regional recruitment service. I was convinced that resume scanning through Resumex was my answer. This was until I happened upon a husband and wife team, a small mom and pop operation running out of Oregon. They were at the convention sitting at a very small table with their homemade electronic teacher application system, which was developed in an Access database. It was called OTAS. It dawned on me that going in this direction would allow us to bypass the entire resume scanning process and the cumbersome sharing of files among our many school districts. So needless to say, I never imagined what would unfold, but I knew that this would be a better and more affordable direction. So we purchased OTAS. We modified it with the help of our Oregon couple to align with New York State teacher certification titles and all. I found the original OTAS brochure in my archive, which is now in Lynn's possession, and I'm sure she'll share this artifact. But it shows that the very beginning of our online application system approach was OTAS, and we actually charged candidates a fee to apply, and we began promoting it through our regional advertising service. I credit our Oregon folks for the vision, but in reality, we found their approach to be clunky and somewhat limited in its execution. And then came along our brilliant new director of IT, Dr. Carlos Maldonado. The internet had now emerged with more cutting-edge technology available, and he knew it all. I recall early conversations with Carlos and his assessment of OTAS as it not being sexy or elegant enough for me, and he was absolutely right. By this time, I had a decade of experience in HR under my belt, and I understood the needs of the region. I had already assembled a great team as we had launched our regional personnel services department, which we later transformed into today's very successful Center for Educational Leadership. We had a wide array of HR and leadership related programs and services in place. With Michelle Wilson, Nancy Organ, and our very own Maria Biagini, we embarked upon developing our own internet-based online application system with Carlos Maldonado and Shinta, who was our first programmer. With our regional personnel services team and IT at the helm, we really started cooking. We engaged HR folks from the region to inform us as we needed to be sure that we were going to meet their needs. It was quite an undertaking, really, a BOCES think tank with a vision and commitment to changing how teachers apply for positions and how districts found and hired them. We tested and tested as make-believe applicants. Maria was Sophia Loren, and I was Jennifer Lopez. You can only imagine. So on that fateful day, 21 years ago, after transferring our many OTAS applicants and promoting our new online application system, Olas was born. I wish I could tell you that it was a smooth sailing from there on, but the truth is we pushed the button to go live and the entire thing blew up. Yes, it crashed for several hours and we thought that we lost all of our candidates. Sheer panic does not even describe this experience. But thankfully, Carlos, being as meticulous as he was, he created a backup plan and he salvaged a spreadsheet which contained the basic applicant contact information. One by one, we split up the list among ourselves and we called every single candidate to explain the mishap while asking them to trust us one more time to reapply, and they did. And not only did they reapply, but they did so with their social security numbers, which was required as part of the application. So again, the good old days were the Stone Ages. Whichever way you want to think about it, it's also mind-boggling. I shared with Lynn an early PowerPoint presentation that I used introducing Olas to the superintendents in our region. We were even brave enough to do a live demonstration, which was nerve-wracking, but Maria always kept her cool. We then took our show on the road, sharing Olas region by region throughout New York State. We tied our advertising service in, and use me 1 second, somehow that's okay. We tied our regional advertising in, which required that all the ads that were placed from our district included Olas as part of each district's recruitment process. Slowly and steadily, Olas grew and became the new way for teachers, leaders, and ultimately all school personnel to find vacancies and apply for jobs throughout New York State. We had many interesting adventures and several mishaps on our road trips. To be honest, most are too wild to share at this event. We were 4 young women on the road, and I'll just let your imagination run wild. But I must say, we had a lot of fun, and I could not have had a more talented and dedicated team who worked tirelessly to make Olas what it is today. I want to thank Lynn Allen and Jamie Molina and his fabulous IT team who have continued to enhance and nurture Olas. It goes without saying that Maria Biagini has been the consistent glue, thought partner, customer service person, marketer, and face of what has revolutionized how districts hire staff throughout New York State and beyond. I'm most grateful to PNW BOCES for their steadfast support of this incredible initiative, and for those early years allowing me and my amazing team to bring our vision to fruition. In the mid-'80s, the PNW BOCES leadership team carefully crafted our mission statement: service and innovation through partnership. It is as meaningful and fresh today as it was then. Olas is a shining example of the BOCES mission. It is a great BOCES story. We have much to be proud of. Happy 21st birthday, and thank you for including me in today's special celebration. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Renee. Wow, that was a trip down memory lane that puts it all in perspective and makes us even appreciate Olas even more today. And just the passion and the heartfelt sentiment that you share for Olas, it's like it's a person. And that's why we're here today. We love Olas and we love our Olas family, and can't thank you enough, Renee, for the creation of it, and Maria and so many who contributed to it. In fact, you had provided me with a couple of pictures. So let me just go to, okay, so can you see those photos? All right, so that's back in the day. And on the left-hand side, you see, I put an arrow over Renee, and we've always loved Renee's hairstyles through the years. And there's one of her finest, and another arrow over Maria Biagini. And when you look at that photo they're outside on this, what we call the bridge, right to, as you look at Renee, to her left is Trish Herbold. Trish, welcome to today's birthday party. Trish is our art director, and she is a graphic designer and illustrator that is extraordinarily talented. And while she was not one of the founding groups, when she joined, all of what you see, the tablecloth, the banner, all of the interface that we now see with Olas is Trish's design. Trish, thank you so much for being here and all of your contributions. Trish, did you want to say anything or unmute yourself while we're looking at these photos?
Well, I would just say it's the current website isn't mine. I don't want to take ownership for that, but the brand look has carried over. And what a magnificent team. I feel honored to have been amongst in the first decade. But so grateful for the Olas team that we have now, because they're doing amazing work, and we can see that from our partners' contributions and responses to their services. So thanks for the team.
Thank you, Trish, and thanks for being here and for all your contributions. And this other photo, you can see there's an arrow for Renee. Very nice hairstyle there too. And next to her is Carlos Maldonado with the other yellow arrow. And you see Trisha to the far right on that photo, and a few others who have contributed through the years to Olas. So again, this is just it's a family affair for sure. And then Renee did such a beautiful job of outlining the history and the birth of Olas and how Olas has grown, starting with what was called OTAS. And you see here just capturing some of what Renee has so beautifully spoken to us about. And as we get more into the future, you can see where the number of schools in the first 5 years was only 177. And just yesterday, Maria, if you could just let us know, you received our 600th district yesterday, right?
Yes, we were in the middle actually of speaking about this presentation, and Jim actually let me know that we received paperwork back from our 600th school district. And what was the name of the school?
Leeway School on Long Island.
On Long Island, yes.
Wonderful. And Maria and Jim, they watched, very, very carefully all of the districts who are part of the Olas family, and certainly the new ones are onboarded, and we celebrate each and every one of them. Jim, I'm going to pass to you to cover a few of these slides, the purpose of Olas's life. Why don't you go ahead there, and we see that the 600 districts is highlighted again in this slide.
Yes, hi, I'm Jim. So the purpose of Olas's beginning was to serve the 18 component school districts, but when the website actually went live, we started with 45 schools. And in the 21 years, we actually just made it to 600 yesterday. We were very proud of that. That was one of our big goals for this year. Along with the 600 school districts, we also have 135,000 active candidates applying to jobs. And we also have 20,000 unique visitors per day.
Thank you, Jim. And Olas has been traveling around a lot. As Olas has gotten older, it's branched out from the 18 into so many other districts throughout New York State. But I'll let you elaborate a little more on this slide as well, Jim.
Yep, a few years ago, we started to advertise to school districts and schools outside of New York State. And we currently have school districts in Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Vermont. And they're all using Olas to recruit, and we're hoping that many more will join the board. That is for any candidates for Connecticut, Vermont, and Massachusetts. They now have the ability to go on and apply to those school districts that are using us.
Thank you. And you're right, it's educators, school leaders, non-instructional staff is a newer module also. And we're really proud of Olas's travels, but Olas's heart will always be in New York State. And the reason we're expanding is so that we can help keep those rates and charges down and stable for all of you, so you can continue to use the system, and we can make enhancements that you request and ask about it as we go forward. All right, Jim, here's another real nice depiction of where we are now, Olas's growth into adulthood.
Yep, so this map represents all the schools and school districts that are using Olas in New York State. As you can see, we have most of the state covered, and we're always expanding, so we expect some more stars on this map very soon.
And this is Renee's background, and as you can see, it almost looks like Renee in the background in that photo. But I highlighted that this was what Olas looked like back in 2001 upon the birth, and how far we've come, thanks to Trisha's work and IT, how far we've come. But that's a blast from the past. And there you go, Jim. You want to cover this slide, and then we will transition to Maria.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So as Olas started to grow, we've been adding new enhancements and new features in the website. So now, it always started where schools can go in and post their vacancies on the site and have applicants apply, but we're offering new features where people can put, candidates can put videos of themselves and have like a brief interview, get to know me type of video to post on the site. Now we're maintaining, we recently changed our rules with the maintaining of records. We now keep records for 4 years for school districts. So if anything ever comes up on any of our jobs, we have all the records for 4 years that we can provide to people. As I went over with the videos and everything, we're also adding enhancements to the candidate side, so they can, it's easier to upload resumes and cover letters, supporting documents. They can opt to customize their cover letters for each position. So when they go in and they apply, they can post a job specific cover letter, which they can tailor to the school district and that particular job. And that cover letter is only seen by that school district on that particular job, so that they can make it more personal and so forth. Olas acts, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go right ahead.
Yep, Olas is accessible from any computer, tablet, or phone. So all the younger people that are applying now, they're all doing everything on their phone or their tablet. Not as many of them are using a PC anymore. And we post jobs every day. We post a couple hundred jobs probably every day. We approve everything and make sure everything's spell checked and goes up without a hitch for everybody to go up there and see it.
That's excellent. Thank you so much, Jim. And Maria, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add. That was really well done. Thank you for walking us through that. Anything else here, Maria, before we move on?
Just that we always welcome, anything that you want to add to OLAS. We always review it. You can email me or Jim if you have any suggestions. And that's actually how OLAS grew over the years, with suggestions from our districts. Sometimes it may take a little longer because we're not programmers, so we don't know. But eventually we do add anything that you request.
That is for sure. And that golden list gets reviewed very, very frequently. Nothing ever drops off. It's always remaining there. And I know Maria and Jim are always delighted to let you know when new enhancements are available and instructions on how to use them if necessary. All right, Maria, so I'm going to click to our next slide. You have some special guests you want to introduce to us who have some birthday wishes for Olas.
Yes, absolutely. So we have 3 Olas fans. Mr. Matthew Matera, Assistant Superintendent for Administration in the Central Islip UFSD on Long Island. We have Mr. Jeffrey Allender, Director of Technology and Certified Staff, Elmsford UFSD in the Long Island region. And next we have Dr. Thomas Reardon, Superintendent of Schools in the Shalamont Central School District in the Capital Region. So we can speak alphabetically. So Mr. Matera, we would love to hear from you first.
No problem. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you.
I use Olas every single day. Through Olas, I was able just this year to hire about 50 staff members since July 1st. Working with Maria Biagini has been great. She allowed me to have open ads for the whole year because we need to recruit constantly. And it's not just teachers and admin. We were able to recruit through Olas subs, food service workers, groundskeepers. So it's really been, everyone I hire has really gone through Olas.
Well, thank you, Matt. That was very nice.
Oh, of course. If anyone out there knows any bilingual educators, please tell them to go on my Olas ad for Central Islip, please.
I speak Italian. Well, that
Now, maybe 100 years ago, now it's Espanol for us.
Yes,
All right, Matthew, we'll
Okay.
definitely send them your way. Thank you so
So-
much for the birthday wishes.
thank you. Jeffrey, now it's your turn.
Hi, everyone. On behalf of the Elmsford Union Free School District, congratulations to Olas for 21 years of meeting the needs of school districts. As a director of personnel and also as a principal, I can honestly say that Olas has been an amazing partner in this work that is central to the education of people. That is the identification and the hiring of quality faculty, administration, and staff. Most importantly, thank you to the people behind Olas for your willingness to engage with us as true partners. The evidence lies in the evolution of the service over the years. Thank you to Renee Gargano for her founding innovational ideas, and a special thank you to the team, Lynn, Maria, Jamie, and Jim, and anyone else I may not be familiar with for making the magic work. Congratulations and happy 21st birthday to the entire Olas team.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your nice words. And next we will hear from Dr. Reardon.
And Maria, I'm not sure that Dr. Reardon is here. I'm just going to
Okay.
continue to look. Let's see. He may be under a different name, but Dr. Reardon, are you here?
Maybe he had technical problems.
He could have. I know a lot of us did. But we really
He
thank
was- I know he answered my emails and he was very excited to join us. I deal with him quite often. And I know he loves us.
He does, and we know he's here with us in spirit. It's so out of our control when we have these IT issues. We just experienced a little blip like we all do every now and again. But we so much appreciate Matthew and Jeffrey for your heartfelt birthday wishes to Olas and to this magnificent team, starting with Renee Gargano and leading us right up to Maria, Jim, Jamie, and so many others. So I am going to, let me just see, I'm going to.
Dr. Allen, Mr. Reardon left a message in the chat in case you want.
Oh, thank you, Kevin. Let me just see. All right. Oh, thank you, Kevin, for pointing that out. Okay, so he said, hello, unfortunately, my internet connection is spotty, but I do want to wish a happy birthday to Olas. I applied for my first teaching position in 2002.
Wow.
And 20 years later, all of my positions are a result of this wonderful interface. It is truly easy to use and the support behind it is unmatched. Keep up the great work, have a great day, and enjoy a well-deserved celebration. Kevin, thank you so much for pointing that out. That message from Dr. Reardon, very heartfelt. We can't thank him and everyone enough for their support of Olas, and we will continue to go forward and go strong. So let me just go ahead and okay. So at this point, we are at the conclusion of our birthday festivities, but I want to pause here and just ask if anybody who is here with us who wants to unmute and just shout out a few more birthday wishes. If not, we will wrap it up there and we will continue to celebrate with our BOCES family. We've got a little trinket gift for them so that they can take away and have as a memento. Anybody else want to unmute and say any and share any birthday wishes? All right, well, thank you so much, everyone, and thanks for what you put in the chat box for us. Again, thank you, Renee Gargano. Thank you, Maria, Jim, Jamie, who's here with us in spirit, Trish Herbold, all of those who contribute to our Olas. Thank you, Matthew and Jeffrey, for your kind words. And have a wonderful holiday weekend, everyone. Happy birthday, Olas. Yay.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Take care. Be well.
Great afternoon.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday